Hello everyone, welcome back to the session. So today's class, what we are going to do is we are just going to see what are the best strategies, right, to get maximum marks in your board exam. Alright, so before we begin, my name is Mohana. I'm a physics educator here at Unacademy. I'll be taking your class 11 and 12 physics, and I have a master's degree in physics, and I'm also a plus verified educator, Aloysia. And this is my Telegram channel link. And this is the common ICSE and ISE board Telegram channel link, and you can follow both these Telegram channels also, because before any classes go live, we share our updates here, and all updates will be any updates if you see will be shared through our Telegram channel. Now, once again, before we head to it, right, if you want to score your maximum marks, first of all, here in today's class, right, we know from today, right, there's around 45 days before your board exams might start, right? So your board exams, I hope all of you have seen your timetable. So it's going to start on 13th February, right? And especially for physics, your physics board exam is going to happen on March 6th at 2 p.m. Right? Either your exams are at 9 p.m. in the morning or 9 a.m. in the morning or 2 p.m. in the afternoon, but physics is going to happen only on March 6th on a Monday, right? And this is your theory paper, and it's for a total duration of 3 hours. Now, if your paper is going to, if you have a theory paper at 2 a.m. means you have to be inside the hall by around 1:45 p.m. at least, okay? Because of there might be certain COVID restrictions. Make sure you ask your school before you head to the centers, right? And 15 minutes, why you have to be inside the hall by 1:45 p.m. is only because 15 minutes, right, is just given for you to read the question paper alone. This is a very crucial time for you guys. Okay, most time what happens is, if as soon as you get the question paper, the best thing you can do is you can at least read the question paper at least twice. Okay, this will help you analyze which are the questions you know very well, which are the questions you're not very sure about, or we are not extremely comfortable about, and that will give you a good idea of which questions to attempt and which questions you could in the either or option, which of the particular questions to attempt. It will give you all the ideas over here. So make sure it's a must at least read your question paper twice. You are allowed to take calculators, okay, but calculators, only the calculators where you cannot pre-store the data and keep, okay, only those calculators are allowed. Now we know when is your when your board exam starts, and from today's date onwards you have about 45 days before your board exam starts. So the best thing you could do is, by now you should have understood all of the concept, right? Conceptual wise, you should have understood each and every topic from all 9 units. Now onwards, try to revise. Okay. Now whenever you're revising, the first priority you need to give is go through previous year question papers. This will give you the basic idea of, which are the most important questions. Alright, whichever is your most important questions, this will give you the basic idea, right? And you can actually, what you can do is any one day, right, in the previous year question papers, go through the last 10 year question papers, but any one day, right, pick up one question paper, sit down and attempt the test for 3 hours and see. This will help you gauge what is your speed, right? When you're writing this exam, you might be prepared really well, you might know all the concepts, but it's also very important that you should be able to finish your paper within 3 hours, which means your speed is very, very important. Now, whatever pen you're practicing with right now, use the same pen. Don't change the pen that you're using on the board exam days. Okay, so whatever brand you're using, try to use the same brand. Okay, your speed is very, very important, and you also need to know how well you're prepared for the exam. So this is only going to happen if you take your previous year question papers and actually try it. Okay, now with respect to, if you want to score a maximum mark, let's say if you want to score more than 95% in physics especially, first of all understand what is the weightage of each and every unit. Okay, so you should have gone through it, you should have gone through the syllabus also. Alright, so don't worry, I'll tell you what are the weightages right now and which units you need to concentrate more on, okay, and also what are the reduced syllabus also I'll discuss today. Now, with respect to electrostatics and current electricity together is 14 marks. Electrostatics again is, it's a very this is also a very important unit, and both together is actually 14 marks. With respect to electrostatics, under any condition, do not skip electric dipole. Electric field because of an electric dipole. This is most repeated 3 marks question. Okay, make sure you learn it, and there were previous classes also on YouTube as well as on the Unacademy platform we have taken for this class. So make sure to go through this and make sure you learn this particular concept. Doesn't mean other concepts are not important. They are also important, but this is one important question that is mostly repeated. Now next is magnetic effects of current and magnetism. That is your unit 3, and electromagnetic induction and alternating current and electromagnetic waves. All 3 put together is just 16 marks. Alright. Following that, you have optics. Now optics is, again, we know we have 2 parts. In optics we have 2 parts. One is ray optics, okay, another is wave optics. Now here the total units, we have 20 marks for this unit. You cannot skip any parts of it. Go through this particular unit. I will once again give you what are the important questions also. Tomorrow there is a class happening on the platform at around 3:30 p.m. The link might be in the description box down. We are discussing what are all the most important repeated questions in each of these topic and what you must study. Okay, right? Now the next 3 units, if you see, units if you see, it's dual nature of radiation matter and atoms and nuclei together is 13 marks, and electronic devices alone, that last unit is alone the 7 marks. So common mistake most of the time the students tend to do is, you might be leaving this volume 2, right? Your volume 2, you might be leaving it for the last minute. Do not do that. Okay, especially at least these 3 units over here. Okay, why? Because these 3 units is 20 marks. Optics, wave optics, this alone is again 20 marks. Okay, now dual nature of radiation matter, atoms and nucleus and electronic devices, if you see, one thing they have is less numericals. Mostly theory. Okay, especially electronic devices, 7 marks, which means 10% is going to come from electronic device. Especially electronic devices, here you are going to get 7 marks and there is no numerical. Mostly it's only theory. Do not leave this unit. Finish electronic devices first. Very simple also. Because it is 7 marks, you cannot skip any topic. Now, with respect to junction diodes, okay, you take a full wave rectifier, half wave rectifier, or whether if you're taking LEDs, solar lights, right, application of junction diodes, any topic you take, numerical based on that is not there. Okay, so go through these topics. Everything electronic devices is important. There is nothing like one topic is important and other is not. Everything is important, and it's only 7 marks, and there is no numericals from there. So make sure you go through this topic first. Do not leave this topic for the last minute. Go through it first. Electromagnetic waves, your unit 5 is just, okay, your unit 5 is going to take you just maximum 2 days to learn. Right? Doesn't mean you are leaving it to the last minute. All of this, whatever we have discussed, by now you should have understood the concept. So from now onwards, start revising. Okay, now let's look at this. How is the weightage distribution? Is very simple. For electrostatic and current electricity alone, if you take, they are coming somewhere around to 20%, right? Then you have magnetism, electromagnetic induction, and your unit 3, 4 and electromagnetic waves is unit 5. That's 23%. Okay, but you take dual nature of radiation and atoms and nuclei, this is again going to be about 19%, and electronic devices is 10%. Optic alone is going to come for 28%. This is your weightage score. Okay, so look at this. If you simply learn optics and electronic devices, that itself covers 38%. Along with that, read the other topics. So the weightage with respect to your unit volume 2 is more when compared to volume 1. Okay, so your volume 2 will have 2 or 3% more than volume 1. Though the volume 2 looks less, weightage wise this goes more. Right? So make sure you go through this particular topic, because see, look at the volume. This is 20 plus 20, 40 marks, but again over here from volume 1 we are getting only 30 marks. 30 marks over here. Okay, so it is very important. Do not leave volume 2 to the last minute. Do not leave electronic devices to the last minute. Go through it first, because those are the easy ones. Very, very easy ones. Okay, so your last 3 units, okay, are very easy, because not most numericals from there. Okay, the rest of the unit, most important question, you cannot skip them. Go to the previous year question papers. That will give you basic ideas of what are the questions you might get, and I will also be doing a class or tomorrow on what are the most important questions, so you can attend that as well. Now that we have a basic idea of weightage, okay, let's see what are the portions that are reduced, meaning these are the reduced portions from what we had last year. This year, certain topics has been added back. That's it. Last year what happened was, with respect to electrostatics, in the applications of Gauss's law, there are 3 applications, right? Only 2 applications were there. Only 1 application was there. 2 applications were basically removed. Now those 2 applications are added back. Okay, only minor changes from last year to this year, syllabus wise only minor changes, but with respect to electrostatic, electromagnetic induction in AC and electromagnetic waves, that is with respect to your unit 1, 4 and 5, there is no changes at all. Okay, these topics you do not have to learn. Don't learn these topics. Okay, these are all the removed portions. These are basically the deleted portions. Okay, but in unit 1, 4 and 5, no change. Unit 2, very simple. Okay, carbon resistors, color code of carbon resistors. You may use it for basically your labs, you may need this, but carbon resistors or color code, this is not there in the syllabus. Series and parallel combination of resistors are not there, but you have to have a basic ideas of series and parallel combination of resistors to actually apply it for Kirchhoff's law. Okay, this is directly not there, but at least the basic idea you should know. Okay, now this is very simple. You would have actually done this even in your class 10. Okay, now, but these topics, if you want to have a basic idea, we have done previous class recordings, right? Videos would be there. It would take 10-15 minutes. Just go through them. Okay, just so that you know how to apply it for Kirchhoff's law. That's it. That's the only thing. Now, numerical based on them, if it comes, how to apply, only for that. Now, the unit 3, if you take, right? See, with respect to the magnetic effects of current, right? One thing you need to remember is, if you actually have, if you look at the if you look at this particular magnetism unit, if you look at Ampere circuital law, right? Ampere circuital law, right? This law basically has 3 applications. One is, what is the magnetic field of a long current carrying conductor? You do not have to use, okay, you do not use only Ampere circuital law to give what is the magnetic effect of a long current carrying conductor. If we have a long current carrying conductor, magnetic field will be circular, right? If I take a plane to it, that's circular. This you apply only Ampere circuital law to define. Okay, next one is, the next application is, now take the wire and actually if you take a solenoid, if you wound it, what you get? Solenoid. This is there, but take the solenoid and actually make it into a circular shape over here. Right, this is toroid. This is not there. Toroid is not there. Solenoid is there. Long straight wire is there. Toroid is not there. Similarly, cyclotron is also not there. Okay. Now, next one is optics. In optics, okay, it's a very huge unit. 20 marks from optics. Your unit 6. Silvering of lenses is not there. With respect to optical instruments, what we know, magnification power is there. Okay, what is magnification? All of those concepts are there. But if you take any optical instrument, let it be a telescope or a microscope, okay, telescope or microscope, any instrument you take, it's okay, but resolving power of that optical instrument is not there. Similarly, scattering of light is not there. Okay, now Huygens principle, refraction to Huygens principle is there, but very important topic also. With respect to Huygens principle, applying Huygens principle for reflection and refraction of light is very, very important. There is no change there, but that is there also, must learn. But refraction through a prism and lens on the basis of Huygens principle, this is not there. Next, another concept is, see, if you have 2 waves and those 2 waves has a phase difference, then what is the interference equation for that? This particular mathematical equation alone is not there. Polarization of light, just like last year, this whole topic is not there. Okay, this is with respect to revised syllabus from these topics. You don't have to learn them. Okay, this is reduced. Okay, don't learn these topics. Next, dual nature of radiation matter. Once again, X-rays. The complete chapter is not there. Davison and Dermer experiment is also not there, so you don't have to worry about them. Atoms and nuclei over here, completely radioactivity is removed, so radioactive decay law, all of this is removed. Alpha, beta and gamma particles, right, their properties, what are the properties of these? You don't really have to learn this as well. Okay, if you want for your general idea, you can go through. Okay, so that will help you conceptually. Now, electronic devices, coming back to electronic devices, one more important point over here. See, here with the electronic devices, okay, there are 3, one part is you have your junction diodes, right? One part is you have your junction diodes. Junction diodes are there. Under junction diodes, you have full wave rectifier, half wave rectifier, right? See, full full wave rectifier can be constructed by two methods. Full wave rectifier can be constructed by using two methods. One is using a transformer and central trapping the transformer. This is there. This is the explanation you need to give for full wave rectifier. Now full wave rectifier you can explain using a bridge rectifier also. That is not there. Full wave rectifier is there with respect to transformer. Central topping is definitely there in your syllabus, important also go through, but explaining full wave rectifier as a bridge, using bridge rectifiers, that is not there. Full wave rectification using bridge rectifier, that is not there. Now in junction diode, Zener diodes and everything about Zener diodes, that is its characteristics, and Zener diode as a voltage regulator, this is completely not there. Okay, now after in electronic devices, after junctions, okay, after junction diodes, then what you have is a junction transistors. Transistors are completely not there, and logic gates also are not there. Okay, whether you add or any part of logic gates is not there, transistor also not there. Very simple concept between your PN junction diode and transistor. If you take a junction diode, you take a P type and N type semiconductor. This is junction diode. Along with this, you either had towards these two sides of this, if you add an N type, or if you have a N type, and along these two sides if you have a P type, this is basically your transistor. These parts are completely not there. Now unit 10 last year also it was completely removed. This year also completely removed. Unit 10 is not there completely. Okay, completely deleted. You don't have to go through. Okay, you don't have to go through communication systems at all. The entire unit is removed. Okay, entire unit is removed. So you don't have to go through this. So this is your question paper. Why do we need to know about what is your reduced syllabus? This gives you a basic idea of how much portions is there and how well to attempt this particular topic. Now you have 45 days for revision. Alright. So if you want to score maximum mark, one more thing you need to understand is understand your question paper. Okay. Understand what is your how your question paper pattern is. Okay, that is again one more important point. You cannot go into a hall, you can do that, but rather than going into a hall and figuring out these are the questions, okay, make sure you go through what are the sections of a question paper and what will be your choices. Now, with respect to your, respect to this particular year, right, last year you only had 1 mark, 2 mark and 3 mark. This year you also have a session D, that is 5 mark question. Again, this is back. So if you look at your question paper, okay, section A has only one question, okay, and it has subparts and it's 1 mark. Section B has 2 mark questions. Section C has 3 mark questions, okay, and section D over here has 5 mark questions. Okay, so the internal choices are always there in section B, C and D. Section A does not have internal choices, but C, B, C and D always has internal choices. Okay, now one more important point. So your theory exam is for 70 marks, right? Minimum, okay, approximately at least 17 marks. 17 marks is for numericals. Minimum, maximum, okay, at least, sorry, yeah, around the range of 17 marks, okay. This is for numericals, meaning if you skip doing numericals, you cannot score the complete 70 marks, so you cannot go closer to this marks. If you want to score a score very close to 70, if you want to score more than 95%, you have to solve numericals. This means don't go through the numericals in the last minute. Start solving them from today onwards. It's okay if you have not solved it by till now. If you have not tried numericals also, it's okay. Make sure from today onwards you solve some numericals so that you get the basic idea. Okay, this is very, very important. 17 at least, okay, till at least 17 marks is for numericals. So you cannot skip this. Now coming back to your question paper pattern, okay, coming back to your question paper pattern, very simple. We said there are 3 sections, right? We have section A, right? Then you have section B and you have section C and section D. Now, okay, section A is 1 mark questions, right? Section A is 1 mark question. So you also need to understand how many marks totally will be in section A. Okay, section A, if you see, it is totally 1 mark questions, okay, but at the same time, right, just give me 1 second guys, 1 second, I'm really sorry, right, in this case, section A is 1 mark question and it's all multiple choice questions over here. Okay, Okay, so section A, question 1. Section A, question 1 is actually a 1 mark question or multiple choice question. There will be 4 options. Okay, very simple ones. Right? And this will actually be for about 14 marks. Okay, this is 14 marks. Okay, how this is distributed is very, very simple. In section A, right, you have 2 questions. One is question 1, another is question question 1. Both are actually question 1. Okay, but under question 1 you have 2 options. Okay, just one question in section A, right? Just question 1, just one question, but this is split into 2. Part A, part B. Under part A, there will at least be under part A there will be 7 questions. Okay, each one is a multiple choice question and you have to attempt all 7. Okay, now under question B over here, under question A part B over here, okay, you will again have 7 1 mark question, but all of this will be definitions, right? Or they might ask you a definition like, they might ask you a definition of what is doping, or what is an intrinsic or extrinsic semiconductor, or give a formula for lens maker formula, right? Definitions, they will ask for formulas, and very, very important point, whatever they are asking, if they are asking you for a formula, any formula you give, any formula that you are going to give, make sure you explain what are each and every terms over there. For example, even if you are giving mirror formula, okay, or if you are saying for a combined focal length, right? Combined, if you have 2 lenses in contact, what is the combined focal length? Okay, so in that case, even for this particular case, okay, this will be 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2. This is again an important 3 marks question. Don't ever skip this question. Okay, but one more thing is, any formula you give, let it be any kind of formula that you are actually that you're going to state. For example, even if you see V is into I into R, even for a very simple formula, what you have to do is you have to explain each and every term. Okay, for example, if you are stating Gauss's law, okay, Gauss's law, if you are saying Q by epsilon naught, explain what is Q, what is this. Don't just write the formula. This is where the key is. You have to explain each and every term over here. Okay, that is one important point. Now, next one is, this is section A, right? So this is for 14 marks. Now, section B, if you take, the total marks you will get over here with section B is actually each question is about 2 marks, right? And your section B, from section B over here, you will have again, section B is again 14 marks. Okay, now section B, from here onwards, either or option will be there. Okay, expect definitions, or even in this 14 marks over here, there will be numericals. Definitely there will be numericals, because around 17 marks is just for numerical. So in each section there will be numerical. Now especially your question B, right? For example, if you take question 2 in section B, question 2 if you take, this will be again an either or option question, right? It will be either answer 1 or either answer 2, but this will mostly be a numerical. And both questions, it's a numerical question, both questions will be a numerical. It won't be a concept and a numerical, both will be numerical. Okay, now question 3 onwards, okay, it might be a concept based question, but they might be something like, for example, what is binding energy per nuclear, or what is mass defect, what is binding energy. They might ask you for 2 marks, but each question inside might be option A, option B. Like, you have to answer both of them. But for example, what is drift velocity? Then the next question will be, what is relaxation time? These 2 could be at one topic. And from unit 2, drift velocity, do not skip. And then the last part, after Kirchhoff law, your potentiometer, right, Wheatstone bridge, all of it, please make sure to go through them. Okay, now similarly, question 4 if you take, okay, your question 4 is again, might be it will mostly be a concept based question. Okay, so now, but question 5 again will be a numerical. They may give you 2 options again. If it's a numerical, you might have 2 options, but both will be again numerical. Okay, so again, question 6, question 7 or question 8, all of these could be all of these, right, 5 to question, like 6 to question 8. This will all be concept based questions, so you don't have to worry. But again, very simple ones. Whenever you're giving a definition, understand what is the keywords. Okay, you don't have to give a huge, you don't have to give an extremely detailed definition. What you need to give is a crisp short answer, but You have to make sure to use all the keywords. Okay, that's one way in which you can actually save your time. Now, the next part is actually your 3 marks part over here. Okay, the next section section C over here is a 3 mark question. And guys, just give me 1 second. I'm really sorry, just give me 1 second. Okay, now your next part is actually section C is going to be, okay, section C is a 3 mark questions, right? And in section C, this is going to be for somewhere around 27 marks in total. Okay, again, what are the questions that's, see, especially question 9, expect it to be about electric field due to a dipole, equatorial plane, on the equatorial point and also on the axial point, or in other words, what is your end on position and actual position, what is the equatorial field. That is the most repeated question, so do not skip that. Okay, now question 10 will be a numerical, okay, will be a numerical for 3 marks. Because it's a numerical for 3 marks, you will have 2 parts, either 1 or 2. 2 numericals will be asked, but you have to attend one of them. Okay, now question 11, 12, 13, all of this could be like, you know, again it might be a concept. Now, especially a question 13 might be a derivation, right? Something like lens maker formula or explain about prism derivation, especially again in this case, question 13 being a lengthy derivation, it might have either 1 or 2, but any one you can choose. Okay, now after this, right, rest other than these two till question 17, all of them will be like, you know, you might have 2 parts inside. For example, they might ask you what is a nuclear, they can ask you what is nuclear fission and fusion. Apart from there, they can ask you give certain what are some properties of a moderator. Within a single question, there could be options. Okay, now next is your question D. This is a 5 mark question. They will be just 3 questions and 15 marks. Okay, 5 question and you're going to have this marking is going to be for 15 marks over here. Okay, with especially your question D, what you will see is, especially with this part C, the question number 18 is actually going to be a numerical. 5 marks, again there is another numerical. Because it's a numerical, it will be either answer 1 or 2, but both will be numerical. Okay, similarly your question 19 might be a concept or definition wise question, may not be a numerical, some sort of a derivation or a concept based question might be there. Partly in the question, there might be a split in the question itself. Okay, they might ask you something like give the derivation or give some explanation of this, what is mass effect, what is binding energy. Likewise, along with that, they might ask you one more question also. Okay, it might have individual parts. For example, this question 19 could be something like this could have part A. Within part A, they might have 2 questions. Okay, 1 and 2. Then it could be part B. Within this, there will be 1 and 2. But you have to explain all parts of this question. Okay, but especially concept 19 over here, okay, 18 and 19. 19 may not be numerical, but it will be a either or option. It could be some derivations, right, or concept wise, but it will be either or option. Question 20 has no options at all. You have to attempt this question. Okay. Most high probability doesn't mean this is what will come. High probability could be based on nuclear reactors. Okay, high probability doesn't mean this is what will come, or something based on optical instruments. Okay, so these are this is basically your question paper. In the question paper, all constants and their values will be given, but it's okay even otherwise too. Please make sure to go through this. Go through all of these all of the constants and what is the value. Don't wait for it, go through it. Okay, so your basic idea is what is going to be is you have 45 days from today onwards, right? You have about 45 days. So what you have to do in the next 45 days is you are going to do a revision. At least read through the entire book in the next 45 days. At least do a revision once, twice, best. If you're doing it twice if you're revising, best. Okay, 45 days in the sense, not 45 days for physics exam, 45 days for your board exams to start, right? Then you might have to concentrate on individual papers. So in this next 45 days, at least go through the paper once. Okay, the entire notebook. By now you should have understood the concept. If you don't know, it's okay. Okay, if you're not sure about some of the concepts, it's okay. There are still so many special classes happening. There are still so many free classes that is happening on the platform, on the YT channel, so you can also take those as well. There is a revision course that is actually happening on that is actually started with Unacademy, right? For the next few days we would be completely doing only the revision course. You can take that plus course as well. Okay, now next important point is go through previous year question papers, at least the last 10 years. If you cannot do last 10 years, it's okay, at least do the last 5 years, because there's a syllabus change here. Now this is why I've told you what are the syllabus, so you do not have to do those questions which is not there in the syllabus. Okay, now from this previous year question paper, one more thing you can do right now is, do a strategy. What are the most repeated question in the last years that were asked? Okay, we are doing a class for that tomorrow on the platform around 3:30 p.m. You can go enroll for it. It's a completely free class again. Each unit, what are the questions you must learn? That is what we are going to discuss. Okay, so those you give first priority. Doesn't mean the rest of them you shouldn't learn. You will not know whether those any question might come, but go priority wise. Which are the most you have to learn? Learn them first, and then you can go with the rest. Next is any days, right? Before you go to the board exam, try attempting at least 2 previous year question papers. Any one day when you're free, set aside 3 hours, okay, and write the complete paper. Attempt the complete paper. Do not get disturbed and attempt the complete paper. Of course, you can take. Your new calculators to your board exams, right? When you're going, you can take your calculators to your hall, but it should be a calculator which cannot store data. Okay, and that description is also given in your board exam data sheet, right? When they release, those details are there itself. So go through them. Okay, of what calculator you can carry. Okay, now in this 3 hours when you're trying, this will give you basic idea of how good is your speed, because you might be prepared for everything, but your speed is also very, very important. Okay, so make sure to sit down and see. You will be able to finish the paper in actually 2 hours, 50 minutes and all. You will be able to finish the paper. Okay, you might have 10 minutes extra, but make sure to do at least once or twice. You try at least twice, because there's only 45 days. At least twice 2 previous year question papers attempted for 3 hours. Very, very important. Okay, next one is also a very, very essential. That is, you need to concentrate on numericals, because why? Approximately at least 17 marks is based on numericals. It's okay, you have 45 days. If you have not tried solving numericals till now also, it's completely alright. Start now, you will be able to. Okay, this is also extremely important. So if you follow most of these points, if you have understood the question papers, you're going to revise every day, right? Set aside for each subject, set aside some time and try to do revision for each subjects every day. For any subject you take, set aside some time and do the revision. Now, next important point is, you right now make use of the notes. Okay, don't keep reading through the entire book. Right now, you should have done it. Okay, if it's not, it's all right. Make sure to use the notes right now. Notes will have concise information of what you need to know on each topic. So most of the educators most of the notes provided on the Unacademy Unacademy, right, on the website. Okay, if you're joining any class, you will basically be able to get the notes, and all the educators' notes are going to help you a lot, so you can follow that as well. Okay, this is one more point. Make use of the notes. It will give you a concise, precise information. Alright, so with this note, I'm ending today's class. Tomorrow again, okay, around 3:30 p.m. on the Unacademy platform. Description will be down below. Okay, we are doing, okay, it's around a 30 to 45 minutes class. We are only discussing, okay, the topic of the class could be it could be, the topic of the class is going to be important, okay, PYQ, previous year questions, session on physics. Okay, so this particular class we are only discussing on all the 9 units. What are the most expected previous year questions? Okay, and obviously if you have any doubts regarding, any doubts on any classes you want me to take, any particular topic you want to take a class, you can tell that as well. Now, if you want, once again, if you want any specific topic in the next 45 days, if you want any specific topics to be taught, make sure to leave a comment in the description box and I'll take those classes. Alright, with that note, I'm coming towards the end of today's session. I hope this session is helpful for all of you. So see you all in tomorrow's class on the platform. And if you like the video, please share it among your friends, subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that before any class goes live, you will get the notification. So see you all once again tomorrow.